All right. Once again, I just want to go around and get a quick audio check from everyone else. We go ahead and introduce ourselves. Hi, my name is Patrick from the Table of Tavern, and this week we've got some of my friends that we're going to play a little D&D and a game I call Nightfall. We pretty much just play D&D week by week. That's just what we do. We're not professionals. We're just guys that love playing D&D, and this is just a way for us to be able to go back and relive some of those adventures. I like using the tool of video replay, much like a coach in football goes back to help critique their team or themselves and what to do in certain situations. And through over time, it helped me become a better DM. And I wanted to share that chronicle with my players. And so also it spilled over to you. And last week, in the Table in the Tavern, we played a little Curse of Straw. But if you guys remember 2 weeks ago, we were playing Nightfall. Can anyone tell me what transpired during that session?
Well, we finally took care of the spiders.
Yes.
After all of this drama, we've dealt with the spiders finally. And then we come home we come back to town just as the circus arrives. And chaos begins to ensue, including a giant fiery explosion several miles north of us.
Yeah.
Just at the same time as our pixie companion, who is not with us currently, opened a tiger cage after being told repeatedly that it's a bad idea.
Yes, it was a bad idea. To correct, it was a lion cage, but yes, still a bad idea. And about that time, a quaking and a shaking and a quivering did go as some sort of event began to take place that sent a plume of black smoke into the air. You guys discover in the morning it is actually a when you're able to ascertain what it actually was. It was a volcano that seemingly erupted. And from the location of it, it seems to have come from the fort to the north. And of course, at that fort was a settlement. At least it seems to be that way. Over the evening, the circus has set up their tent again, and you allowed it to be used by refugees of this volcano, as it were, that are displaced, don't have a home right now, as others begin to travel and make their way there. Over the days that will transpire, you're going to see more and more people making their way. I can bet you that. But
And it's going to be raining ash on top of us at the same time for days, weeks, or even months to come.
Indeed. And it is just that mention, David, that in the morning, as the sun begins to rise, you begin to understand the complexity of this thing. As the sun rises, normally the orangish glow is a very brown tinged. And as it rises into the sky, you notice it is very dark as this cloud of ash begins to spread. ash and smoke spreads out from where the volcano had erupted, not but a couple of miles from you guys. I kind of charted it from the map I had. It's within about 10 miles of where you guys are.
Is that the map that you posted on the page that shows the fire to the north?
Indeed. That's not exactly accurate, but it's a pretty good description of what you have to travel through in order to get there. And by my estimation, it's about 10 miles, give or take.
Okay.
That's not accurate as far as depiction of Red Clover Fields on there, by no means. That is not accurate. But at any rate, it's hard to span out a 10-mile map, if that makes any sense. So it's a big part. But there is a larger map there on in Chronicles as well. I can pull up that shows the area, and I even put the volcano on there too. But anyway, like I was saying, it becomes a bit of a grayness over the sky. It's a little bit gloomy this morning. It is busy though. Once again, like I said, I wanted to go through and go ahead and introduce everyone. And from where I have here to the top of me, my first person is Cody, or otherwise known as Curdy. Curdy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character you'll be playing tonight? You're going to be making your first appearance into Nightfall, which I'm excited about.
I do. I am also excited. Tonight I'll actually be playing a changeling barbarian rogue. It goes by the name of Chad Dudley. He has a little bit of a weird background. I tried to leave it a little vague, as I said. I wanted this one to actually work with the story, so that way I could blend in a little easier. But I'm interested to see where we're going. He's a barbarian rogue, and he's a bounty hunter. So he's on a quest to find someone, but he's a little tight-lipped on the details.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Cody. And next to you is David. David, of course, you're playing Delmont.
Yes. I am playing. My name is David, and I am playing the resident eccentric artificer, Delmont Summerlaw.
And next up, we have Drake.
I'm playing it's been a minute, sorry. I'm playing a wood elf ranger. Her name is Alia. She's from a different continent, and she's decided to kind of travel the world and see things and go on a little adventure of discovery of herself. And being a ranger, she's kind of has an affinity for animals, nature, and the natural state of things. So, she's not really on any. She's on a quest to help a friend, although the friend is missing right now, if I'm correct in assuming that. So, yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Next up, we have Lucius.
Hello. Did I fix the reverb?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Lucius. He is our resident warlock. A man who has a version of amnesia. He doesn't remember anything. He has a genie vessel as a genie patron, or his patron being a genie. He keeps a little library of other people's memories to kind of help replace his own in a fashion, because he's not chasing after his own memories. He left a note for himself telling him to don't worry about his past, just kind of make new memories instead. So he's found himself with this band of adventurers, and so far he likes hanging around.
Next up, we have Mama Bear, Gaia.
Hello, I have a character named Gaia. She is a Kalistar druid. She's Circle of the Moon, so she changes into animals majority of the time for combat purposes. And basically her goal in total is to make it possible for basically society to live with nature peacefully without there being need to harm one another or whatnot, trying to make it to where they both can agree on even ground and coexist peacefully as best they can.
Okay. Last but not least, my brother
You're muted.
from another mother. Same dad, though.
You're muted.
Patrick's muted.
Ha ha ha. I meant to do that. Next up
You were just
is,
testing us, right?
Right. Thank you for having my back, guys. That was a test. Now then, Curtis. Or Kythos.
Yes, I am Kythos, a tiefling monk that's just basically trying to find his way. He was outcast, but also, kind of just trying to show that not all tieflings are bad.
Indeed.
But if you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back. But even harder.
So, sorry if I don't like that. You guys are at the water. When Alia returns, finally, after the evening, Alia, you've been making your way to the windmill up on the hill. You've made pretty good friends with the farmer there after everything with your spider, killing his cows and turning his windmill into a nest. Well, in the time it took for you to kind of pay back the debt and go to working for him, as well as going and doing your adventuring in town, he's decided to allow you and your spider to hang out there in the window. Okay?
That farmer.
What?
The farmer?
The farmer.
Okay.
So you've been making your way back to the windmill from time to time. And that's the new home for your spider. What was the spider's name again? Do you remember?
It was Spin, but we found out its real name, and it was something different. I can't remember what the other name was.
No, you're right. You're right.
We were
you
calling
found
it
out his
Spin.
name was Spin. But that was the original name. He said that was the name that was given to him. You gave them another.
Wasn't it Daisy?
You called him
Wasn't it
Ruby.
Ruby. That's what it
Ruby?
was. Yeah.
So one day, you're making your way back to the windmill. In a very Charlotte's Web fashion, you find the name Ruby written in one of her webs. And you end up making your way back to the watermill after all that, wondering if maybe your spider has actually decided on a different name. This name you chose for it. As your spider becomes closer and closer to you during the time that you spent with it, in order to make it as your animal companion. And now the spider follows you like a dog. And as you approach the watermill, the spider is behind you. The town, though, well, they're not really sure what to make of it. And there are a few people that do see, although it's early morning. And they see the spider, and they see you. And they gawk and they awe. And what do you say? Or what do you do as you approach the watermill?
I turn and wait for the spider to catch up, so the townspeople can see that it's not actually stalking me. Okay. And I just kind of look back at the people and just do a little one of those and usher the spider on and keep on going.
You hear mutters from the crowd. He's trained them. Trained them. Look. And you hear someone else call out, I want one. As
That's
you make
funny.
your way over to the watermill. Of course, you arrive and make your way in. The party, of course, is quite tired from the evening of festivities at the circus, and of course, with all the ruckus of the volcano going off and erupting, and I'm certain that you guys all pitched in to help. What would you guys like to do?
Well, considering the hellscape that we're currently in, because the water is undrinkable, the fields are going to die. There's not going to be the fish are inedible because the water is horribly polluted because of this volcano. And at any time, the ashes that are still falling from the sky could be hot enough to turn this entire town into a tinderbox. So I'm trying to figure out how to, at least fix the water.
Does the water got like volcanic ash and stuff in it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's going
because
to,
just 10 miles up the road,
type of
an
filter.
entire town.
So
Well, on one
Yeah, so we have like thousands of tons of ash that are falling on us.
David, I think what you need here is a sample. A sample of the water to see how contaminated it is, and that it certainly
Well, there's water. I can just like go right outside and collect a water sample.
Obviously that's what you'll do. And you go out and you collect a bit of it and you take it back in and you use some sort of a testing strip, one that you would use to check the alkaline levels in something, and you realize that it is dangerously hot. Even already only after about 8 to 12 hours of exposure, it's already dangerously hot. And so you go to work immediately to try to figure out a way to filter the water. Why don't you go ahead and make me a tinker check?
That is a 15.
Very good. You go to work collecting your materials, and you're confident that in time your diligence will pay off. Meanwhile, would anyone else? What would the rest of you like to be doing?
I'm getting into a lot of sand, clay, and charcoal, like tons and tons.
Forgive me if this has already been answered and I somehow missed it. What happened with everyone at the circus? Is the circus still going on and this is separate, or?
Well, the circus is going to be delayed. That's a good question. Excellent question. As the tents for the circus are now being used for housing for people that are displaced from the volcano. So,
Right.
To answer your question, yes, there are still people there, and of course the circus is still there. They're just not going to be performing like an actual circus, but of course they're entertaining people, and they're present in most of their tents for, pardon me, Pepsi. Their tents are being itemized as best as possible to allow people to have their own, domiciles, those that might need it, mothers and private areas for changing and whatnot. And so most of the circus has been combined down to only a few tents, while the rest of them are being used for various people and their families. To answer your question, would you like to try to lend some assistance, or was there another reason for the party?
I'm just trying to follow the story.
Right.
And last I knew, we ended at part of the group going into the circus.
Yeah, excellent question.
So I got am I with the party? Am I with everybody now?
Yes, you made your way back to the water with.
Okay, so
Into.
and can't remember his name. I gotta look it up. I got the squirrel too. So something about volcanoes and volcanic ash that the druid would know and the ranger would know. It's a dilemma at the moment, but the sulfur and the burnt off, the land will actually be healed over
absolutely.
time from what's going on, and the water will actually end up purified. It's detrimental to what's here now.
Yeah,
but ultimately it'll be better once it gets cleaned up.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like everything right now is like the water table right now is just pure sulfuric acid.
So
and the farmland.
Gotcha. I just wanted to add that.
Yeah. Oh no, because I'm well aware that the long-term effects are going to be beneficial. It's just the short-term effects make this area inhospitable without a lot of work.
Gotcha. So I guess one of the things we need to do is contain the fire, if we can, and then find a way to get fresh drinking water or non-contaminated drinking water to the population of the town. Those would be the two priorities, probably.
Well, I'm working on the water situation.
While you guys are chit-chatting about that, Cody.
I grab something from the kitchen. Get back.
Cody, are you there, buddy? Cody. We'll come back to Cody. Kythos, Gaia, anything you guys wanted to do?
Hold on, Gaia is also busy at the moment.
Kythos?
Well, last time I remember, I was watching the, trapeze artists and stuff, so I was going to go, I guess, converse with them.
Yeah, they've been making their way into different domiciles, and of course, doing what they can to help. You have been, as you said, intrigued by them, and last night may have assisted them with helping set up tents. You become well acquainted with a few of them. One is named Richard, the other one, Bruce.
Gotcha.
And so you find yourself hanging out with them. What would you? Anything else from their first? Is there anything specific you wanted to do?
Nothing really specific, no. I mean, more or less, I was just going to kind of converse and talk to them about, their training and all that stuff, how they learned how to do all the acrobatics.
They talk about how they actually grew up in the circus. Been doing it all their life. They ventured across the land with a large family. Of course, the family gets smaller and smaller as years go on, as people retire and people sometimes lose interest. Finding there are better things in life than swinging through the air and feeling the rush of and excitement of just narrowly escaping death, even though there's a net below. In the moment, it's freedom.
Right.
Anyway, Lucius, anything you got going on, bud?
I'm not sure if time would allow, but if I had any downtime through things, I would like to work with the town drunk on my disguising capabilities.
This is downtime, my man.
So I would probably have a training session with him going on. So if there's nothing else of import.
That would take you to the end. Speaking of which, Cody, I'm glad you're back.
Sorry about that. I wanted to take everyone to the dog real quick. She's 3 months old.
No, you're perfectly fine. Life happens. D&D is second to family and life in general. As I said before we started, Cody, your profession has led you from town to town as this before, and you found a way to blend in, and you make your way to the inn looking for work. There you find a woman named Eliza. Eliza tells lots of stories, and as you come in, she's telling another. She pauses in order to greet you. And as you tell her that you're looking for work, she tells you that there's a particular fire marshal that's been growing a bit of a fire department, as it were. And that there may be work ahead with the volcano up north. And if anyone needed help, it'd be them. She says, before long, they always wander in here. If you stick around long enough, I'm sure you'll see one. and she welcomes you to take a table. You, of course, decide to take one of the back, so you can observe it, take account of everyone in the tavern. And this is and it is and
You got this, buddy.
and it is at this time that you see a well-dressed, well-manicured, long, dark bearded man strut in the front door and starts making his way over to one of the tables where you see a man that is half drunk singing to himself some sort of she shanty. As he walks inside, Eliza lights up, the innkeeper, and motions for him to come over to the bar. Lucius, are you there? All right.
I think they are dealing with. I think they are dealing with baby carpet shark.
Let's take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back. Okay. And then we'll get into the deal. I'm going to step outside and have a cigarette. Don't worry. I'm going to take you with me.
Oh, hold on. What? Can you repeat what you said? A what shark?
Carpet shark.
A baby carpet shark.
Carpet shark. I get it.
I like that. Baby carpet shark. You're going to have to remember that.
Because once they start crawling, they are a dangerous predator.
Yeah, that's very true.
Hey, Curtis.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about something. While you're over there hanging out with the trapeze artists, one of the other trapeze artists makes their way back while you're conversing with Bruce and Richard. She calls herself Barbara. She walks in and she starts talking about how one of the animal trainers named Gunther had mentioned that one of the lions have escaped. Perhaps something with the shaking from the earthquake / volcano may have opened one of the cages, and one of the lions seems to have escaped. So is warning everyone, keep on the lookout, but not to raise an alarm at the same time. Don't want anyone to panic.
Gotcha. So, I guess I'm gonna go help track down this lion.
Okay.
Help her, go help her go alarm everyone and all that stuff.
Okay. All right. So you leave the tents and start looking around for this line. Where would you like to start?
Probably where the other animals would be kind of caged up.
Okay. Well, you do make your way over to where the animals are caged up. You find a number of the staff still around, and they're looking at one of the empty cages. as you approach. They ask you your name, and they say, "Wait." You know, when you tell them, "Wait a second, aren't you one of those guys? You know, with the spiders and whatnot?"
I tell him yes. I'm part of the party that was dealing with the spiders.
What can we help you with?
Well, I was seeing if you'd seen the lion that's been missing.
Whoa! Don't say that so loud. They say,
Oh,
"Don't say that so loud." What do you know about the lion that's missing?
well, Barbara just let me know that it had happened, and to really not cause an alarm. So I figured I'd come over and try to help.
Okay, well that's great. Good to know that you guys are on the case. Yeah, it is true that we suspect one of the lions may have gotten out when the eruption happened and all the calamity that was. But we're not really sure where it might have gotten off to. We haven't seen a sign of it since.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna continue looking around, and if I see or come across it, I will do my best to try to let you guys know to help kind of contain it. And if you do the same, if you find the lion, try to do the same for me.
All right, make me a investigation check.
And that one with the 3 for 4. Yeah.
So yeah, you're looking around, but it's hard to really make out anything. All the tracks seem to have been walked over by various people, and the cart that the cage that actually held the lion, it seemed to have been moved from its original place, and it kind of makes it hard to really assess the area. You don't come up with it.
Well, I never said I was a great detective, so I'm going to make my way back to the rest of the party, try to figure out what we can do, where we can go from here.
Is Lucius back yet? No. Okay. We'll put that in our pocket for right now. You make your way back to the watermill. You find Delmont working on some sort of project, and Albert is working with the spider, trying to teach it to roll over or something. And Gaia, of course, is smoking weed as usual.
It's Alia, not Elric.
Oh, right. That one.
Unless you're going to let me play Elric.
No. There'll be no lightning, though. So, Kythos?
Yeah.
Bye.
What?
Curtis? You
What?
make your way back to the water. You find the party. What would you like to do?
Oh, I'm going to go walk up with the guy and partake with her.
She seems a little bit preoccupied, as she's not present at the moment. But Alric and Delmont are.
Alia.
Alia and Delmont are.
Okay, well, I'm going to see what Delmont's doing.
He seems to be tinkering out of some sort of project. Delmont?
So you would probably find Delmont at their work desk. Jars of water all over the place. Jars, glasses, water everywhere. Bottles and just various other chemicals and powders and like charcoals and sands and all sorts of other like things that and Dell is like experimenting and trying to find the right combinations to clean the water, not just get the ash out of the water, but also to clear out the acidic and basic compounds and everything. So there's jars over here that are pink and blue and like green, and this one is smoking for some reason. And just Dell is just fixated on the problem.
Well, as you are working away, Kythos comes intrigued with what you're working on, and he seems eager to tell you something. Kythos?
Well, I was just going to let him know quietly that, well, not necessarily quietly, but to not bring a scare to anyone, that one of the lions from the circus had escaped. And it hasn't been anywhere to be found yet. I don't know, that's not as big of an issue as the drinking water, but it's still something that we, some of us maybe could take care of.
Well, if I don't sort this out, without sorting this out, the lion problem will end up getting sorted out because this hasn't been solved yet. So if you really want to save the lion, talk to the druid.
Okay,
or the ranger.
Cody. I'm going to make an executive decision. Oh, he's back. Good. I was going to do something. Okay.
Yes.
Matt, are you available?
I should be.
Okay. So as you enter the inn and make your way over to talk to your new tutor, Alyssa calls you over and tells you about somebody came looking for work, and that she recommended your friend Delmont as a possible way of making some ends meet, working with the fire department. Points him out in the back. Cody, what does he see?
1 second. Made 3 characters this week, so I need to make sure I'm describing the right one.
Indeed.
Currently looks like a middle-aged male, blue eyes, medium build, about 4'8", white hair, rosy skin, about 145 pounds.
4'8", 180.
He's small, but he's thick.
Short round.
No,
To quote Rob Schneider, Rob Schneider from 51st Dates, he's husky size.
Are you like a tall dwarf or something?
No, that's just how he currently chooses to look.
I like it. Okay.
He's a
All right, so
he can be whatever he wants.
Yeah, this is just the form that he prefers.
So an albino Augustus Gloop is coming into my coming into my place.
Pretty much.
We'll see. First, let's see what Lucius does.
What's going on?
She points out this potential recruit for your fire brigade.
I can, before I get with the tutor, I'll. Did she give me a name?
No.
She points him out, and then I ask if you got a name.
So Lucius saunters over to you and asks you if you got a name.
Close enough.
Cody.
Chad Dudley.
So, if you're looking for work with a Belmont, there's a watermill that you can get to, and you can probably find them.
As long as it's work, I'm glad to do it. I'm wandering from place to place, just trying to make a living right now.
And I'll give him directions on how to get to the appropriate watermill.
Yeah, he tells you down the street. First watermill on the left.
I can't promise that they'll never hire you, but it's no harm in checking it out.
Works for me. I'll finish my ale and then I'll head that way.
So, Cody, you making your way over to the watermill then, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay. And Lucius, you're making your way over to see your tutor?
Correct.
He looks up and grimaces as you approach. Oh, you again. Wait. You gave me beer last time. I like you. What can I do for you?
We should be due for another training session.
Training?
You agreed to it.
Me? Agreed to train you? To do what?
With a disguise kit.
Say again?
With a disguise kit.
Oh, right. Right. You might want to do something about the beard. You know, there's only so much you can do, with a beard.
I'll think about it, but in the meantime...
I mean, just think of it. Now you want to look like a princess. There's not too many bearded princesses now, is there?
Well, if you look at the circus, maybe.
Aye, that's true. Maybe you could get some work over there, too. As a bearded woman. Is that what you're into?
No. What I'm currently into is learning how to use a disguise kit.
To look like a woman?
Just to be able to use it to look like anything I want.
Alright, well, buy me another round and we'll talk about it.
We've already settled this and agreed upon it.
Agreed when? So you
Last
go
time I
round
saw it.
you go round and round with him for a while, and eventually he does help you with learning a little bit about disguise. And he teaches you the different techniques of applying the makeup. It's very rough, and you have to kind of edit your notes as you go along. As like, what did he say? Oh, okay, that's what he meant. And you're editing your notes. Your notes are a little bit scribbled, and you may have to revise them. But you spend the afternoon over there doing that. Cody, You make your way back to the watermill. It's quiet in the morning. Of course, the cloud of ash across the sky makes it a bit darker than normal. And you make your way over to the watermill and find it quiet as well.
This thing standing out front.
Oh, right.
Oh my.
Speaking of which, make me a perception.
Me or
Cody.
okay?
That's a 23.
23. So you do notice that there is a very large robot standing guard outside the door. But to the left side of the watermill, you notice that there is what appears to be some sort of garden. And you notice that there's sprouts coming up. You scent the aroma of something you smelt before. Would you make me a nature check?
That's a 4.
It smells familiar, but you can't quite place it. Anyway, you knock on the door and wait to see if someone will answer. So you guys from inside hear a knock come at the door of the watermill. That would be Gaia, Al, Alia, Kythos, and Del.
Well, I know everybody's busy, so I'll answer the door.
Okay. So, a woman answers the door, and you quickly recognize that she is of the elven persuasion. Tell me, Alia, what exactly does Chad see?
Damn it. I think, if I remember correctly, she's wearing chainmail and a hooded cloak. But I can... there we go.
Bless you.
Actually, it's studded leather. She's wearing studded leather and a hooded cloak. She's, can I help you?
I was sent this way looking for work.
Oh, who sent you?
I don't quite remember the name that she gave me. It was a gentleman coming to train with someone at the bar. You're gonna have to forgive me, I'm terrible with names.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the girl at the bar. I was responding to some Twitch. Her name was.
Who are you here to see?
And I was sent over here to see Delmont, I believe it was.
Well, it's his house, so that makes it convenient. I guess you can come on in. I'll let him know you're here. Don't mind Ruby. She doesn't bite.
So when you first come into the watermill, this entire ground floor is a cross between a smithy and a steampunk workshop. Everything is automated in some way through either water power, steam power, belt-driven gears. It's just there's noise. There's a hammer that's pounding by itself off on one side. There's a lathe going. There's just all sorts of tools that are just like running on their own. While you have this 5'7" individual who's sitting at a workbench covered in like like I was describing earlier, just covered in like jars of water of different colors and different chemicals and all sorts of other things in front of them, muttering to themselves while taking notes with have like notepads on each, on either side of them, like taking notes ambidextrously as they're working on on this particular project.
Gotcha. I go ahead and approach and I say, "Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but I was told that you might have a job for me."
If you're looking for janitorial work, sure. What are you? I mean, I didn't post any kind of listings. What are you? What kind of work are you looking for?
Right now, I just work as a freelance adventurer, coming to town to solve problems if they need help.
Okay. Okay, and they sent you to me. What do you know anything about chemistry?
Metagame. What type of check would that be?
That's like. Do you know alchemy?
No.
So Alia's standing there because she brought him over there. She's like, well, like when you drink too much beer, you get drunk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the alchemy he knows.
Okay. What are you good at?
Fall apart.
Yeah. Dell hasn't even like looked at you yet. It's like, okay, what are you good at?
I'm good with people and I'm strong.
Good with people and you're strong. Okay. How are you with a shovel?
I can handle myself.
Okay. Because
Do you have any weapons that are out that we see? A sword or an axe or a bow or something?
I have a scimitar on one hip and a dagger on the other. And
I bet he's more proficient
armor,
with the sword than he is a shovel.
As far as armor, I'm pretty much just wearing shorts.
Wait, you're only wearing shorts? Nothing else?
Yeah.
Shirt,
so I'm just gonna turn, because like my train of thought has now been completely broken. I've just been thrown off the groove, so it's just like pens down, just turn away. I've even got like my stool even swivels, so just spin around and look at. Okay, now that I'm not distracted anymore. So then takes a look at Chad and just TikTok. Get an apron.
Apron?
I'm yelling. Yeah, just like TikTok. Get an apron.
All right, so TikTok comes to life and makes his way over and rummages through some stuff and returns over to you with an apron.
So the giant robot comes over and gives a leather apron to me, and I'm just gonna throw it at Chad. It's like, okay, first thing, wear some clothes, because if it rains, your skin will come off your body.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you're obviously you're new around here, but we're kind of in ground zero of a ecological disaster.
Noted.
The reason I asked if you're good with a shovel is because we may end up having to have, if you're looking to join the fire brigade, we may end up having to shovel off people's roofs so houses don't collapse.
All right, so Gaia, you're upstairs doing what you normally do. and you can hear that there's talking going on. You hear a voice you've never heard before, and of course it gets your attention, and you make your way over and see Chad and Delmon and Aelia all talking, and Kaito's kind of lingering in the background as he normally does, looking over what project that Delmon is working on. But yeah, you see this gentleman, stocky individual, now donning a leather apron and apparently going to assist Delmon.
Sup, man? Want to hit on the pipe?
Gaia, this
Yes.
is not the. This
Yes.
is really not the time for that.
Maybe after.
Ilya walks over and is like, you know I'm in there for that girl.
I'm just trying to give him a warm welcome.
the Wood Elf girls.
Warm, go outside.
That's funny. You hire
You sure you don't need to hit yourself, Delmon?
Huh?
You hire someone new and they immediately get a buy.
The druid and the ranger over there smoking fairy weed and getting your new helmet high.
I
That's
politely
perfect.
declined until after. So
Hey, Gaia, I have a question for you. This is really important. Can you make water?
Can I make water?
Yes.
I don't think so. Let me look.
Well, we could produce liquid. Just give us a few minutes. You're being serious, though. You want us to make water out of nothing?
I don't know what your magical capabilities are.
The rainwater is acidic, isn't it?
Yes.
I think we can purify water, though.
We
We
can
might not be able to wait.
purify it.
Can't. Yeah, we probably can't
Well,
make it, but we can probably purify it.
We
All
can
joking
purify it by filtering it, and then once it's filtered and cleaned, then we can boil it and pull and level out the pH.
The
Take
those
problem
things
is
down by boiling it.
The
the
lake.
problem is we have to get that water to come. We have the water will have to come out of the sky and land on us and collect as an acidic, in its acidic form as we collect it.
might I weigh in on this? I know I'm new here, but you guys keep
Upside
looking
down
up.
umbrellas.
Why not look
Here's a
down
lake.
a little far enough and find water?
There's a lake.
Well,
right
we have a well, but it's also connected to that lake.
there. So
and-
barrel up some water, and I'm pretty
Right, but the
sure the
problem
druid
is-
and I can purify
Right.
water.
Well, what I'm getting at is while I'm working on a filtration system, if the two of you can create water in large enough quantities, I'm talking, 100, hundreds of gallons in a short period of time, we can get a water tower built to give access until we can get this filter situation taken care of, because we can't go more than 3 days without fresh water.
True.
So if you guys can create it, that gives us a bit of a stopgap without, while I can work on the purifying aspect.
Well,
This
funny
is a-
thing,
Water.
I haven't picked any spells for my ranger class. So let me see what I can do with the water.
You don't have, so druids don't have destroy create water in their spell list? That's weird.
Well, I didn't choose it.
Well, as a druid, you have access to your entire druid spell list, and you can swap your spells out every day.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, much like a cleric, they're very utilitarian that way.
Because I'm trying to keep these people from not dying.
That's why they call you guys the heroes. So as you guys are talking and hanging out and going over the plan of what to do, another knock comes at the door.
Okay, I will go answer it this time.
When you answer, it is a man you recognize, helped you in the forest, and you helped him with a particular firearm before, getting it working again. Judge.
Judge, what can I do for you?
It's good to see you, Delmon. I'm glad to find you well in these conditions. He looks over your shoulder. I see you're busy working already on something. Looks like a filtration system, if I could.
Yeah, I'm trying to... getting particulates out, that's one thing. I'm trying to... now I'm just working on neutralizing the sulfur compounds as quick as I can.
You notice anything different about me, Delmon? He says as he edges his chest forward, and you see a star put up on his
congratulations.
Yeah, they finally made it official. Sure.
Okay, so what can I do for you?
Well, as the sheriff, with you being the fire marshal, I thought it was a good idea that we do work hand in hand in different things. And I know how well accompanied you are with travel, and of course with combat. We've fought side by side with each other before, and in the protection of the town, I think it's in the best interest that I lead the endeavors of the frontier and beyond to those better suited for it. He looks at Alia and Gaia and the lot of you, and I'm of course, he points at the star on his chest, more needed here. But I know I can trust you. There is concern about, of course, he holds out his hand and ash falls and collects in his hand.
Yeah.
I wondered, being the fire marshal, he says as he rumbles it, blows it, you might be able to help a little.
I'm already working on about a half a dozen things regarding this. So a couple of things that I'm going to be a couple of things is clearing roofs. That's going to be a big thing. If we can get stone shingles, that will definitely be a help to help mitigate some potential house fires.
You see, he's listening to you, but he's eager to say something.
But one of the big things that I'm worried about right now is just people panicking.
See, that's kind of why is people are concerned about this volcano and the fires, of course, smoke and the ash. And, everything you do for the town is wonderful, but I wonder if there was a special project I could have you work on for me.
I got my hands pretty full, but depending on what it is, I'll see what I can do.
Of course, I'll provide funding for you in this endeavor. I have that power now. You know, at least in petition, it's all very bureaucratic, and I really don't like that. But at any rate, a pump. You see, I feel that I've been listening to some chatter here and there, and some people, they think if only we could get the water, to help. And I've heard about these pumps, and maybe just maybe they think, I don't know, beating around the bush is. You're like, spit it out. Okay, so see a boat, and you have a boat with a pump, and then you pump the water and shoot it, kind of like he pulls out his gun, but with water at the volcano, from the lake.
That's like pissing on a forest fire.
But it could work.
Yeah.
To put out the fires in the surrounding area.
You're talking having to move hundreds of thousands of gallons in a very short time. And I could try to develop something, but I can't guarantee how efficient that it'll be. I mean, I don't know how effective it'll be at moving water. Generally, with from my research regarding volcanoes, it's clear the area, let nature run its course, and then come back when it's clear. But considering where we're at, I'm trying to mitigate the situation, before we all die.
Of course. Yes.
Because going north is not an option.
No. I've actually asked some of the lumberjacks that assisted us with the spider endeavor to help to prevent the fires from spreading through the forest as we fear they may be. And if they continue to spread, it of course causes fear amongst the people. I'm going to send sorry.
Yeah, and the problem with that is, we're 10 miles out, and we have hot ash raining on us currently. I mean, I'm surprised that the air is even is as breathable as it is.
Indeed, I'm wondering if maybe it's best to relocate.
Evacuate. That's a thought that if I can't come up with at least a water filtration, a large scale water filtration in probably the next 48 hours, I would definitely recommend an evacuation of the town.
I agree. I think it's what's best. Also, he leads in it. There's been rumors, and I found that there's some fact to them. A lion appears to have escaped from the circus and the events of last week. So please be on the lookout. We don't want to raise too much alarm, but I do have my boys, what I can spare, of course. Looking here and high and low, we've looked through the town. It's nowhere here. We think it's probably
looking for fresh water.
Right.
Because if if our situation doesn't get cleared up, that one is going to fix itself.
Well, it's been good talking with you, Delmont. I'm glad to know that you're working hard at helping. I'll have to check back with you in a couple. You said 48 hours. I'll check back with you in 2 days if we can't come up with something by that time.
Yeah, because at that point in time, I'm pretty sure that any water stores that we have currently around town, and as well as the beer and our alcohol reserves are also going to be pretty low as well. So,
indeed,
and we have no fresh food available, so that's also an issue.
Yeah, all great problems we're working towards trying to get fixed. In the meantime, is there anything I can do to help?
Just do what you can to keep the people calm, because as we know, people are big, dumb, panicky animals at the first sign of trouble. And the last thing that we need is a riot in a small town.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, don't want any of that. Well, just so happens, fate be with us. They make me sheriff of the town, and now I don't know if there's going to be a town. Well, until that day, I'll see you. I'll see you, Delmont. He says as you can see that he's troubled a bit as he leaves.
See, as Judge leaves and closes the door, she's going to lean against the door. It's like, oh, fuck. Okay. All right, everyone. Time to have a come to Delmont meeting.
Am I back
you're
yet?
here. So I guess the three people that are here are Alia, Gaia, and Chad.
I'm there too.
Oh, you're at the You're at the shop. You're at the workshop too. Okay.
So hold on, pause real quick, Lucius. So about this time, you are finishing up with the training with your compadre, your drunken master, and make your way back to the waterman.
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
in
ask.
time to be seeing. I'm sorry. I apologize. What was that?
I was going to ask if I would have been back yet or not.
Yeah, as you approach, you see Judge leaving. He tips his hat to you. Hello, Lucius. Good to see you again.
We exchange hellos, and I'm assuming I make it inside in time for to hear Delmont say, "Come to Delmont meeting."
As he's walking by you and he greets you, he takes a second glance. He's like, "Is that eyeliner you're wearing?"
Probably.
And then he shakes his head and leaves you, and you make your way in just as Delmont is saying, all right, everyone get together. Come to Delmont meeting. And I hand that back to you guys.
Okay. So, things are not looking good around here. I don't know your name. I'm sorry. I was kind of busy if you gave it to me. Talking to Chad.
Chad Dudley.
Chad Dudley. Okay. Well, I guess you're here. You're roped into this. Okay, so... Alright, so I just had a meeting with Judge. And people are starting to panic. The volcano is not showing any sign of slowing down, which means what we're seeing outside is just going to get worse. I give us about 48 hours or so before our water supply is critically low, which means that we will no longer be able to inhabit this area for a few years until everything settles down and the acidity and everything starts to leach away. So, at this point, I am open for ideas. Do we continue to work on help in keeping this town going, or do we work on an emergency evacuation?
I vote for evacuation.
Where are they going to go?
Well, they can't go here.
It's going to be harder to sustain them than it would be to start over. They can take what they can and rebuild somewhere else. At least it's not going to be nothing. There should be some stuff that they can take with them. There are bound to be craftsmen and craftwomen here. They take their trade with them.
We can do both. We can try to wait a little bit to see if we can find a solution. And if not, we can relocate. I don't think we should evacuate unless it's the last resort.
Well, like I said, I give us about 48 hours. And that's before we've drank that's the townsfolk have drunk every bottle of water, wine, mead, everything down to the last drop.
I say we prepare them for the worst and have them prepared to evacuate in 48 hours. And then if we have it solved by then we can have it called off.
Agree.
Okay. So.
Isn't there a way to make natural water filters?
That's what I'm working on. The problem is, I can get the particulates out. The problem is, the water is still acidic.
We still want to prepare for the worst just in case. Not saying that you won't be able to, but where there's a percentage chance, there is a chance for failure. So we should prepare for the worst. And the sooner that we have them ready to evacuate, just in case, the easier it will be to move them, have them move away and be out of the way, so that way we can continue if we need.
But yeah, is it possible that that you can create water in large quantities?
I can only move it.
Well, that doesn't help much.
We tried to drill for another well that might be connected to a different spring.
Well, the well that we have is connected to the lake. And so one leading into the other, and digging for a new well is going to take a lot of time.
Dig for another well and put a system to filter the water, so that way whatever comes through, drill it from that well so it has to go through the filter. I'm sure that would be an easier process for you while we do the manual labor of pretty much digging a big ass hole.
So, before long, you guys go about doing your various tasks, and yet another knock at the door. Seems like Brandon
Very
just
popular, actually.
Yeah.
So I'll go answer the door again.
When you answer the door, you have seen this gentleman before. You saw him on the docks before, and you may have seen him with Kythos before. He wears a very long straw coned hat. He looks up. You see these fine silken robes. Older face. He seems very foreign to these lands. He greets you with a grin.
No,
Hello.
you okay?
I am here to see Kythos. I am told he may be residing with it.
Come on in. He's right here somewhere. Kythos, your old man is here.
Okay. I'm gonna, I guess, head down from where I met and meet up with him.
He does a deep bow and then walks inside. He takes off his sandaled shoes as he does and leaves them by the door. As he brushes off his clothing and so forth and takes off his hat, revealing a bald head with a small top knot tied on just on the top of his head. Is the only little patch of hair on his head is his top knot that he seems to keep under his hat. He takes off his hat and he looks at you, Kythos. It's good to see you. You look well. You've been fighting these creatures. He grabs your shoulder and thumbs your wound. Looks like that's healing well. Good. You must be more careful. Don't be so hasty to jump into fight. Assess. Be cautious. Don't let your emotions drive you. It is through wisdom that we will persevere. And he pulls from his pouch a book. It's a very large book. Looks old, tattered, as though it's been read through many times. He holds it with care and presents it to you. Take time. Read. Sharpen mind. Sharpen mind, spirit. Go. And he turns, puts back on his shoes, puts back on his hat, and leaves out the door. Before he disappears, he says, remember, be smart. And he leaves.
I stand there with the book in my hand and kind of shocked, what the hell just happened? I haven't seen him forever, and then he comes back and just drops off a book, but okay. I know that if he's trying to tell me something, he's trying to tell me something. So, I guess I'm gonna take the book and go off and start studying, checking it out, see what it's all about.
All right, good. All right, so you disappear to some recessive corner of the establishment, a quiet area, away from the smoke and away from the sounds of the equipment. To achieve this, you almost feel like you need to go on the roof, but you don't want to do that. Just the edge. And you find your way up into the rafters, where Willow likes to sometimes hang out. You notice Willow's not there, so you'll find some quiet there. You bound and leap up into the rafters, crack open this book, and begin reading. It's a big book. It's going to take a couple days, but it sounds like you guys are going to be here for a while, so it's a good time. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
Well, I'm going to switch my train of thought from tinkering to alchemy.
Okay.
Since I have that proficiency as well, to see if I can use that as a, so, because the physical filtering is one thing, now I need to work on the chemical aspect of the filtering as well.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another new tinker check.
Alchemy check?
Okay. Yeah, alchemy. Yeah.
20.
Seems to be going well. You do manage to now you're trying to actually purify them, right?
Right. I'm trying to mechanically clear out as much of the particulates as I can, and then chemically treat it to make it drinkable.
So you use another test strip after using your process, and you're like, come on, buddy, come on. Several hours have transpired. You've been at it for like 8 hours working on all these different projects. You pull up this strip and you're like, it's clear.
Now I just have to scale this up from, just a few ounces to hundreds of gallons.
But you're on your way.
So, time to start sketching out the tower. Because that's going to involve pumping out the contaminated lake water into a tower for filtration and cleansing, and then creating a storage vessel for the populace. I'm becoming utility. I'm a public utility now.
You're fucking public work.
You've been that for quite some time, sir. You just now realized it. Speaking of which, you've been getting payments, but you haven't actually. I guess you haven't. You've been getting payments. You just haven't been getting payments. And a knock comes to the door.
Again? Okay, now. Who is it now?
It's actually a young boy. He's riding on what appears to be some kind of a dog. He tips his hat. A dog. On the back of a dog. A young boy riding on the back of a dog.
Oh, I thought you said writing on the back of a dog.
Right. He does pull out a letter. He says, this is for Alia, and this is for you. Hands you a little scroll.
Are we talking an actual boy or like a halfling or a gnome on a riding dog?
Looks to be a little boy, and he hands you a small pouch.
Okay. So I'm gonna tip him like 5 silver.
He brightens up. Thank you. Clutches his hand and puts it away, and he darts off on his little horse or his little dog.
I'm just gonna close the door. Alia, mail. Pass the letter off to her while I open the pouch for me.
Okay.
I open whatever the scroll or letter or whatever it is. I open it.
So first, Delmont, the scroll is actually a receipt, and the pouch of gold is your payment for this month as fire chief. In the scroll, it dictates how you're expected to pay all of your so on and so forth, and then of course account your balances and this, that, and the other, and report back to them. It's all bureaucratic, of course. And you're like, oh, this is some more stuff to have to do, and you disappear with that. But there's what looks like 100 gold in that pouch. It's not shabby. Of course, that's not just for you. That's for, you'll figure that one out on your own. You don't even know what you're paying people, so you'll figure it out. Alia.
Yeah.
You're from somewhere far away.
Yep.
And you see that you have a letter, and the emblem on it is one that you recognize.
Is
It's
it like
actually
home?
from your family.
Oh, so it's from home. Okay.
You wish to open that, go ahead and read it. It's not a whole lot. It just basically your uncle, right? Albert, the one I keep on calling you, or was that Dad?
That's Dad.
Your dad has been wondering where you've been off to. Has heard through tell that you've made your way to a town called Red Clover Fields. He says, don't worry how I know that, but wants to know that you're safe, and hopes to hear back from you soon.
So, there's a mail service that takes mail from another continent and brings it to this continent and finds its way to this town. Is that what you're telling me?
What just happened?
Okay.
He said, don't worry about how I found out.
Okay. Well, the look on David's face is priceless.
Sorry, I was looking at something else.
Just make sure you tip him.
He's gone already.
Yeah, I'm just saying. This is a incarnation from our 4 weeks, 20 papers. That's $2 plus tip. Better make sure you tip the boy.
I don't have a dime on me.
Didn't ask for a dime. Anyway.
Oh my $2.
I did not sign that infernal agreement.
just don't.
He delivered to your door.
Don't piss off the paper. That's all I'm gonna say.
Somewhat, which means somebody else did, but still.
At some point, somebody else. Anyway, yeah. So I ask again: is there anything anyone would like to do, or shall I send someone else to you?
And they come knocking on the door again.
On the tiger situation, I'm not gonna lie, my character
Lion?
or the
It was
was it a lion or a tiger?
It's a lion.
Lion.
Oh my! I am kind of interested in the lion situation. That's why I was like, I do. Well, he's paperwork and whatnot. Can I go and pursue a little bit of that?
Of course.
I'll go do that too.
It sounds like a little bit of fun.
Is it Kythos that had that original setup?
Yeah, Kythos is busy reading.
If y'all are gonna bring other critters into my house, you better make sure that I know about it in advance, and you have a place to store wild animal.
I think he said.
You're not talking about.
What's the worst that could happen?
No, it's all about perspective.
I mean,
but I think he just said that you guys can have a lion.
No.
I'm not objecting.
He didn't say we couldn't. I know how Drake
Nobody asked.
and he collects animals like in Pokemon.
Yeah, he does.
I have a squirrel.
Because the last time I missed a session, there was a spider in my front room.
Hey, you've never seen my squirrel. I've had the squirrel the whole time.
I haven't.
That was my original animal companion. I summoned a familiar that I still haven't gotten yet. It's gonna be.
But yeah, I have
a friendly lion to wrestle with. I've been sizing up the robot the whole time.
I think
we'll leave Ruby here to keep you company, and we'll go find this lion and bring it back.
Well,
my character is also obsessed with how strength and toughy he is. He is a barbarian.
I'm gonna flip that side. David, you were trying to say something, Will?
What could go wrong?
Well, the same reason why there's about a half a dozen cows.
I paid him. He lets me use his. Ruby lives in the windmill at the farmhouse now.
So hold on. Technically, if he paid the man, that was his livestock, and he didn't lose anything. So I'm not seeing a problem here.
See, the reason I don't like let the spider in my house, I wanted the spider out, is because I have a lot of flammable items in my shop, and spider webbing is incredibly flammable.
Again, what could possibly go wrong?
Hey, did I mention? I forgot to tell you, Delmont, when I was coming up here from the windmill, and Ruby was following me. A bunch of the town will kind of notice Ruby, and I just kind of like waved her by, and they're like, "Wow, look at him! He's got this trained spider," and they're all, "You want one?" And you know how many eggs are back there? So as soon as they hatch, you might not realize this, but I'm going to have a little, like, they're very lucrative business training pet spiders and handing them to townsfolk.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Do you understand
I want one.
The responsibility and discipline it will take to keep them that the average person doesn't have?
That's their problem. We'll have them a waiver, right?
They'll all become little ranger apprentices, and they'll all have a spider animal companion running around with them.
Here, little Biffy.
A little ranger army.
Have a baby spider. Then 2 years later, where's Grandma?
Who knows?
He's riding her own spider downtown.
All of our
population control.
We have no more
Think
chickens.
about this. they could all be the entire town on mounted spiders. Nobody would ever, and no, like brigands or would-be thugs are gonna ever loot this town.
That's for certain.
Anyways, I believe there's a lion that I go and find out.
I'm going with the tall guy.
The short guy.
No,
Uh,
the short, tall guy. Then we're gonna go see if we can track down the lion.
Anyone else
Yeah.
want to go with Lucius, Gaia?
Delma, do you need help trying to figure anything out? I don't have a whole lot to bring to the table, but
Hey, Delmont, don't really freak out. The eggs aren't fertilized, so they're not going to hatch anytime soon. We need one more. We need a male spider.
noted.
Oh, they're going to give me an ulcer.
You'll be fine. You'll figure out a medicine for it.
He's on one side of you, and I'm on the other. Is David's in the middle, and me and Cody on either side of David on everybody's screen? Because it's
Mine too.
David's
You're
loving
looking
it.
for me, and you're down here.
David's like right here, and then you're right over on the other side of him, right here. So it's perfect. And then
Check
Matt's
Just
right
sit there
under
and
it.
poke him.
Yeah, it's like
If you look
it's like this is Cody, this is me, and this is David.
Oh yeah, on the Twitch stream. Yeah, on the Twitch stream, Chris is on my right, or well, on stage left. Or no?
He's on my right. I'm on your
Yeah,
left,
you're my stage.
right.
Yeah, if you're looking at Twitch, Chris is stage right, Cody is stage left.
Yeah. And you're right in between them.
Yes.
I had to take off my glasses because I started tearing up at some point in that.
Okay, well.
so if Delmont doesn't need me for anything, I might go.
Want to go watch me wrestle a lion?
Yes. I need to go find a quiet cry.
I'm gonna wrestle it into submission so we can give it belly rubs. That's the plan.
If it helps, I do have control flames, by the way. So if we wanted to go north, we could try to start pulling some of the fire.
If you're going to wrestle this lion, I'm going to take measurements of your hand.
We don't have to wrestle the lion. I can talk to him.
So can I.
Doesn't mean he doesn't want to wrestle the lion.
I was just about to say that, but I still the lion. It's
I'm
strong.
not telling you what that
wrestle-
poor lion's been through being part of that circus.
We could let him wrestle the lion until it looks like it chomped, and then we'll talk to the lion
We
and
can
save
have a
him from
friendly
getting
sparring
chomped.
match. You can talk to it.
Yeah,
He just wants to wrestle the lion for the sake of wrestling a lion.
I wrestled a lion. Be like Hercules. Just can't. You just
What
can't
did the lion ever
skin
do
it.
to you?
Oh, at this point, he sheds about about 30 pounds. You guys do notice that.
I'm gonna have to admit at some point if Chad doesn't wrestle a lion, I'm gonna be disappointed. But
We could
by
sell tickets.
it sounds like Gaia is going with Alia and Chad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the
Which-
lion no harm. I just want to wrestle it.
Which guarantees
Yeah,
the
he's-
lion is going to make it back to the watermill.
Yeah, and I think it would be kind of cool to have a lion to play around with and wrestle. That'd be kind of cool.
And that means that Gaia is going to be making her way out among the circus folk. Lucius?
Yeah, we'll be lions of the circus, or we'll just liberate all the lions from the circus, and we'll have more than one then.
you had a concern of that in the last session. Gaia and the circus spoke.
David's like, what?
Why?
Why?
Going to accompany on their quest to wrestle a lion, or watch Chad wrestle a lion.
We got. We
like I
go
said,
we go to the last place the lion was seen, and I guess I'm gonna look to see if I can find any tracks, and then we're gonna head off in the direction that you follow the tracks.
If Delmont would like me to stay to assist with anything,
if you want to go with them, because I'm just now planning large scale implementation of my work.
You've got Kaithos there, just
and I get to try to devise this pump system that, you know, a model of this pump system that Judge was talking about.
Then if I'm not needed here, I don't see anything else for me to do except for to go with.
all right. So that means Lucius, Gaia, Alia, and Chad. You guys all end up leaving the watermill behind as Kaithos and Delmont get into their with the pump, the filter, and the book. You start making your way over to where the lion was last seen, you said. And that leads you over to where the animals are kept. Over there, you're looking for anything that may be lion related, and you see people coming across the bridge that have come across the bridge with a wagon, and they're stopped there talking about some sort of encounter with a beast across the river on the way to Red Clover Field. Would you like to see what's going on with that?
Yes.
Okay. So you listen in, and they talk about some sort of creature. One of them says, and the other says, "No, it had a human face. It wasn't a beast." The other says, "No, it was a lion. I assure you, it was a lion." Another one says, "Lions don't have wings." And they're all arguing about what it is that they saw. When you examine the wagon and you see it has some claw marks on it, would you like to take a closer look?
Sure.
I would like to investigate.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation.
Just him or all of us?
Whoever wants to take a closer look.
My
And
dice
let me
are
know what-
customer. Can somebody roll for me? Yeah, I get him. Never mind. I get it.
Who's investigating?
Chad,
I am.
And what?
I got an 11.
Okay. And Gaia?
I didn't see anything.
What did? Oh,
Investigation.
Alia, were you looking as well?
Oh, I rolled a nat 20 plus 3 is a 23. What did the Rangers see?
And what about you, Lucius? Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a persuasion? I don't know. Yeah. Because they took away to gather information. So I want to... What would you guys say a gather information would be?
I would still count that as an investigation.
There's
It could be
actually
insight.
something for, give me just a second here.
I like that insight.
Inside, it'd probably be. Yeah.
Because I think there's actually.
My vote's insight.
I second and third that vote.
Yeah,
And
same here.
move to go ahead and make some insight checks. What are we doing this for?
Oh, I'm while you guys are investigating the claw marks on the wagon, that's not really something I'm good at, so I decided to talk with the individuals themselves.
Right. And so, why don't you go ahead and roll me an insight for now? That sounds good. Well,
That would be
let's
a
do
total
that.
of 18.
Roll me an insight. 18. Okay, so
19.
we're going to start with the... What's that?
19.
Says
19.
19.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. So, starting with Alia. Alia, you're looking. Well, all of you are looking. Amanda or Gaia, you see the scratch marks, and you're like, looks like a lion to me. And you're looking around for anything else in particular, and you don't notice anything. About the same with you, Cody. You definitely see the claw marks, and you put your hands on, and you're like, yeah, that seems like a lion could have done that. Alric, you notice something peculiar. There's something. Sorry, Alia. You notice sorry guys, everyone that may be watching this video, I've called this guy Alric for like 4 years of my life. So, sorry. So you notice that there's something wedged in one of the claw marks. And you take a closer look, and it looks like it's part of a claw. And you actually pry it out. And taking a closer look, although it looks like a claw, it's completely made of iron.
Thank you for listening. This episode, like all others, are recorded live on Twitch. Please join us there at the table in the tavern, all one word. You can find the rest of this episode if you just continue the Yellow Brick Road. Thank you for listening.